As a teenager, it can be a struggle finding things to relate to since it's such a transitional phase. Everything is always in flux and it can be so confusing. So what would originally start as a way for one young woman to express her feelings on her paper would ultimately become a way to reach others and touch topics like puberty, crushes, and complicated family dynamics. With me today is Dana Newcomb. She is the author of the Rebecca Chronicles series. She's here with her daughter, Kaylee, who was the main inspiration for the books. Ladies, welcome to DelmarvaLife.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. So, Dana, can you kind of elaborate on what inspired you to get this project started?
Well, for some reason, the character of Rebecca resonated with me even as a little girl. I started writing the Rebecca Chronicles at 12 years old.
Really?
Yes, I started, I loved to write fiction and I wanted to jot down my feelings. So that's how it came about. And I did that for a couple of years and then I grew up and I stopped writing. And then once I had Kaylee, 20 years later, the character came back once again, but the timing just wasn't right. And so then she entered middle school. And I thought, now the timing is perfect. I called my mother and I said, it's time. Let's do this. We have to do this for young girls.
That's wonderful. So tell me about some of the lessons and experiences that Rebecca deals with in these books.
So the first book starts with the last 11 weeks of sixth grade. So she's journaling to her future self to be a writer someday. So she's jotting down every emotion and feeling that you can possibly think of that a young girl would talk about. She's really pouring her heart out in these pages. And it's a day-to-day series when it begins. So she's talking about everything from not doing well in math to fighting with mom to you know, her father is losing their sports store. So it's very relatable. Everything in my series is very current and very relatable.
Yeah. So Kaylee, how does it feel to be the inspiration behind something like this?
Well, it was really cool because in middle school I would come home and the books really started getting written like the first year of my high school experience. So I would get off the school bus and I would tell mom all about my day and I had no clue that she was writing everything down.
Oh boy.
Everything. So it was really funny to see some of my experiences on paper, but with it being somewhat based off of my middle school experience, it is very centered in on every girl's middle school experience. So it could really relate to any girl.
Yeah. So Kaylee, do you have any plans to be a writer in the future? I mean, what are your plans?
I would love to be a writer with my mom. Right now I'm at Salisbury to hopefully become a middle school teacher. And the character of Rebecca being very prevalent in our house these past couple years has really helped me get in touch with that sense of self in middle school. So I would love to be a teacher, but I would also love to write books with my mom. That would be really
wonderful.
Cool.
Yeah. So there's 3 books.
Yep.
What do you hope the readers take away from it?
So many things. Well, number one, Rebecca is every girl. You know, it obviously it was inspired from Kaylee, but also myself and also my mom. It's written from 3 generations of women. So what I've learned through this is that the game never changes, only the players. You're still going to have the bullies, you're still going to have the mean girls, you're still going to have anxious thoughts. So the takeaway is obviously for no girl to feel like they're going through something alone. Also, with young girls these days, on social media especially, they're scrolling and they're only seeing perfection, perfection, perfection. My books are designed to show girls there's an actual ebb and flow to life. You're going to have good days, you're going to have bad days, and that it's okay. It's all going to be okay. And that's a big deal right now with the mental awareness with young girls. I just feel like there's not enough out there. So the takeaway is it's all going to be okay and that you're perfect just the way you are. And each book has a hidden meaning. The first book deals with looking within. The second book is the powerful I am affirmations. And the third book is all about perspective. And the fourth book, which will be out shortly, will be talking about anxious thoughts.
So how can folks get a hold of the books?
Okay, first and foremost, my website is dananewcombauthor.com. If you go to my website, you can order the books. We personalize each and every book. It's always free shipping. The books are now in independent bookstores up and down the East Coast, which I always recommend to do. They start at Rehoboth and go all the way down to the Outer Banks, and we're also now in Pennsylvania as well, which we're super excited about. And then they're also in the big name retail stores as well.
Yes.
So.
Wonderful.
Yeah, thank
Dana,
you.
Kaylee, thank you so much.
Thank you.
for coming in.
We're so happy to be here. Thank you for having us.